Hi everybody, it's Anne at Ladybird Fabric, and today I'm choosing a color palette for my next project, and so I kind of wanted to walk you through how I choose one. The project I'm working on is the Campfire Glow Quilt from Then Came June. This is a beautiful mix of sawtooth stars and 9 patches, so really mixes that classic quilt blocks with a modern palette and kind of even modern placement with how the stars are randomly placed. The color palette I was inspired by is one of the samples that she shared on her Instagram, and there's also a little hint of it here in the pattern. You can see there's some kind of an earthy brown, black, gray, light pink, and white. I love those colors. That's a very modern palette to combine a chic black and white with peaches. Warm pinks are very popular, and also throwing in this earthy brown. I pulled some colors out. This is kind of my first pull of colors, you can see. So I knew I wanted black. This is called Roasted Pecan from Kona. I love it. One of my favorite colors, so I want that to be the color of the stars. I chose an ice peach. This is ash from Kona, and this is curry from Kona, and white. So I was like, okay, I feel like I'm doing pretty good here. That's kind of in line with what she chose. So then I get into the specifics. You can look at the back of your pattern for fabric specifics here. And I realize, oh, I'm not really on my plan here. Start looking at her sample quilt. I noticed that black is being paired with a light gray. That's kind of the light gray I chose. That the light peach or pink is being paired with white. And I think I don't really want a stark white. This is white from Kona. That's about as pure white as you can get from them. I decide I'm gonna go with actually snow, which is a little bit warmer. You can tell a little difference in those colors there. Snow is just a little bit creamier. So I went back and looked at my inspiration source photo, and now I have to really settle down on these colors. I start looking, I love peach. This is peach and ice peach, but I realize these are just not gonna be dark enough for what I'm looking for. So I use peach as my lightest color pink, and I believe this is salmon to go to the next color. For keeping track at home, this is gonna be one of the 9 patch blocks. The snow and the peach. The other one, so far I'm working with ash and black. My stars are going to be roasted pecan, and the background of the star is going to be this darker salmon. But she wants you to mix up the background of the stars in this quilt, so that's where I'm going to pull in curry, because I really want to throw this rich gold in with these colors, and curry is a beautiful example of that. Look at these. This is going to look good on this background. This will look good on this background. Again, I'm redefining things. This is my other 9 patch. I come to decide that this ash color, it is a warm gray, but I just don't feel like something's not clicking for me. So I pull out one of my favorite grays. I would kind of classify as a grayish, a gray and beige combination. This is called doe skin. It's one of my all-time favorite colors. It has more warmth, and when you look at all these warm colors we've already got going on, it's going to be a really good combination. So I'm going to pull out my ash. These are going to be the colors in my quilt. I think I'm pretty true to the sample here, but you never have to stay true to the sample if you don't want to. You can do whatever you want. I tell people this all the time. You don't have to follow anyone's quilting guidelines but your own. You have to do what makes you happy. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm choosing tones and colors that fit my color palette, that fit what I want, while also taking the inspiration from Then Came June's sample. Now I'll show you some things that didn't quite make the cut. I would love to be able to add this tomato, well, it's not tomato, this is called lipstick. I call it tomatoey red because it's a little orange. I think this would look beautiful in there. Maybe it'll be a binding. I'm not sure, but I do love that color kind of thrown in with all these warm golds and browns and peaches. And you know what I kind of wanted to do? I kind of played around with throwing this mint in there. I know it's wacky, but I kind of like it, so I don't know. Sometimes in a project I'll be like, okay, I know the base colors that I want, but what about the extra colors, the kind of tangential colors that'll really make it pop, really make it your own? Both of these colors could work in my project, but Sometimes you just have to know when to say no and not let things get overly complicated, even though I really do love that combo. I might have to write those names down and remember them for a future project. Even if it doesn't work for this project, there's always future projects. Sometimes it's good to make notes to yourself on things that you like that you haven't quite found a project. I do this with color palettes a lot. I will save pictures with a color palette that I really love that could be used on a future project. So I'm very excited to get this started. I'll probably start cutting it up this weekend and see how it turns out. I can't wait to show you the finished project.